Hi everyone, it's Jennifer McCreath, February 12, 2014. International incident once again. Transphobia at Canadian airports with regards to customs and security. A trans woman who has female identification, who's also an international celebrity comedian known as Avery Edison, flew into Canada at Toronto Pearson the other day, and not only was she denied entry into the country, she was taken immediately to a men's jail, despite having identification documents from her home country of Great Britain indicating that she is female. Totally unclear, as to why they would, one, refuse entry, and two, put her in jail. I know there was an issue with her being a student visa holder in the past, and that she overstayed the deadline of the visa, but she did leave. Now I guess she wanted to come back and collect her belongings, and this is the way she's treated. She's, I guess, been degraded and disrespected and called by the wrong pronouns by Canadian government officials. Government of Canada has completely disrespected and disregarded international human rights protocol, as well as that of the province of Ontario. Interestingly enough, airports they don't fall under provincial jurisdiction, and the good laws that we've got here in the province of Ontario are not applicable to federal jurisdiction. We here in Canada like to think we're good at human rights, and we pat ourselves on the back for raising rainbow flags and calling out the big bad Russians, but bottom line is we treat our own trans people horribly, as well as our visiting trans people horribly. And this is just another example of that. I've had my share of airport issues, and they've been well documented. I don't personally feel comfortable or safe being in airports because of this, and I have not been into an airport or stepped onto an airplane now since 2012, and I may never do so again until these policies and procedures are changed. This points to the critical importance of having an all-inclusive trans human rights bill at all levels, and I'll use this opportunity once again to point out that Bill C-279 is watered down and inadequate. It suggests that it's okay to have a gender identity, but that if you express that gender identity, you will not be protected. Well, that's not good enough. We need to have full protection, as we see in the provinces of Newfoundland, Labrador, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Ontario, and Northwest Territories. Gender identity and gender expression protected in the Human Rights Acts of those provinces, and we need that federally. We need to know that trans people will be treated fair and equally in an airport, regardless of how they express themselves. And the province of Ontario also has rules that respect and recognize the right to change identification documents, regardless of surgical status. And this maneuver by federal customs not only disrespects Ontario rules, Canadian rules, and international protocol, it serves as a bad example and bad rapport, and it's the pot calling the kettle black. I'm really disgusted and disgraced at my country, Canada, today for this, and it points to the fact that we are not leaders in human rights, and we have a lot to learn. Stephen Harper and Denny LaBelle, I've spoken about them specifically and how their policies at the federal level are transphobic with regards to airports, and I really hope that Avery Edison files a human rights complaint. Our Federal Human Rights Commission has some teeth, a little bit more teeth than most of our provincial tribunals. This does need to be challenged. You're not going to get change unless you step up and ask for it and demonstrate that it's needed. Human rights violation, clearly here in my opinion, putting a trans woman with female ID into a men's prison, totally ridiculous, totally uncalled for. Shame on Canada, major disgrace, and stop with the shenanigans. The timing is unique for this event. Last week we had tons of protests where Canadians were raising rainbow flags to protest anti-gay laws in Russia, given the fact that Russia was hosting the Olympics. Meanwhile, I don't see any outcry over this. Canadians are, well, where are they? Especially these gay people that call themselves LGBT community leaders. Once again, are showing that they are ignorant towards what T really is and what the issues are. They think that as long as you can get married, it doesn't really matter what your ID says or what your surgical status says. Well, totally wrong. I mean, this is a major issue. It's despicable and upsetting that all those political posturers waving the rainbow flag last week are silent on this issue. I've tweeted at many of the politicians and called them all out. They're not responding because they know that they're in the wrong and I'm right here. And it's just really upsetting. And it is what it is. I took a lot of heat for criticizing the rainbow flag raising, saying it was insincere. And I think I've proven my point. Canada likes to pat themselves on the back, and they think of themselves as world leaders, when in reality, we got to clean up our act at home. We are a mess. We are a disgrace. We do not treat our own trans people well, let alone trans people elsewhere. And this needs to change. This is absolutely ridiculous. Bill C-279 is not good enough. We need full protection for trans people, regardless of sexual status or biological, medical status, surgical status, and regardless of whether or not you've got a so-called diagnosis from psychologists. Full protection is a must, and we must throw Bill C-279 in the garbage and do it properly, do it right. Give me a break. Toronto Pride, really disappointed that you're pushing for 279. You obviously don't have a damn clue, and there's reasons why the trans community in Toronto has segregated themselves from you, and it's really unfortunate that Toronto's hosting World Pride, because I don't think that city is ready to be a leader. I definitely will not be attending, and I don't think anyone else should. So Avery Edison, if you see this, people out there who know Avery, encourage her to file a human rights complaint. Canada is an embarrassment to the world and needs to be seen as such, and only then will we clean up our act. And next election, vote Stephen Harper and Denny LaBelle out of office, because they are transphobic government leaders. Jennifer McCreath saying thank you for watching.